Links, of course, down below in the description box to credit where I'm getting my information from. It seems like Switch 2 pre-orders, as per a reliable leaker by the name of Billy Bill Kuhn, reveals that in Canada, at least, pre-orders for the Switch 2 can commence as early as April the 23rd, as per some retailer insider information. They're not too sure as to whether or not the date's going to be the same for the US. But given the fact that Canada was halted for pre-orders to be more in line with the release date, or rather the pre-order release date, if you will, for the US, because they want to keep it in line, chances are, give or take by a couple of days, it should be about the same in the US. So I'll be keeping an eye out on that, of course, and you should be doing the same as well if you're looking to pre-order a Switch 2. This seems to be credible. ACG, GameSpot, or Stopper, I always get them confused, and a bunch of other big reputable websites are talking about this, so it seems genuine. This could be out before the end of the month. Oblivion Remaster. It's not a remake, so again, there's the link to that, and then to their Twitter page here, which I'm not going to give a link to each one. This is the one that brings them to his main page here. These are some of the screenshots. Now, some people have said this looks underwhelming. Well, yeah, it does look underwhelming, but compared to what it looked like nearly 20 years ago, I think it's doing pretty good. It kind of brings it in line with Skyrim from the looks of it. And what is interesting to note here, as we look at these here, there's the comparison, like left to right, 2006, 2025. Yeah. Is this here. Supposedly, again, it says, releasing before the end of the month, blocking inspired by Souls-like games. So it could end up having better combat than Skyrim, which, with all due respect, as much of a gem as that game is, the combat was pretty fucking shit. Sneak icons now highlighted, stamina system modified, HUD changed, hit reactions added, and archery overhauled. So that's pretty cool. So it's got some elements in there of what it would constitute of being a remake. However, they chose to call it a remaster because that's probably what it is. And I have to admit, I'm excited for it. I think one of the main reasons I'm excited for it is probably not the reason you are. See, I love Skyrim. Never finished Skyrim, never finished Fallout 4. I've started them over and over multiple times on different systems. Don't even get me started with that. Is the fact that, from what I remember from Oblivion, it had level scaling. And I know this is a controversial thing. As an option, I personally love level scaling even in an RPG. People will say, well, why? You don't get the sense of progression. No, you do, because you have new abilities at your disposal, right, to better dispose of your enemies. But just because you're getting stronger doesn't mean potentially they're not either, to kind of keep that challenge always there. But at the same time, because you have more tools at your disposal. Anyhow, that's just my take on it. It's nothing to agree with or argue about. I feel like all games should just have both options. By default, have it off, because it seems to be the most popular choice. But then have it in there to where you can toggle on. Again, Witcher 3 does that. Assassin's Creed does that. It's got a plethora of different level scaling options on top of that. And I think it's wonderful. So that's my bias behind why I'm kind of excited, or really excited, for an Oblivion remaster or a remake, is just because of that scaling alone. I don't want to have to mod Skyrim just so that the enemies always scale with me and everything's a challenge. Like I said, I'm in post-game level 100 in Witcher 3, and on Death March, or whatever it's called, a regular, like, dog by a pond, if I'm going to pick some berries or some shit, if it chomps my bits, I can drop and be dead if I'm caught off guard. Like, that's how quick it can happen. I like that sense of challenge. It almost gives me the Souls-like difficulty without really having to be that difficult, because if it's a little bit too much, you can kind of scale it back a bit. Anyhow, a bit of a rant there. It's kind of what I do. So there you have it. Thumbs up as always if you liked the video. It does really help support the channel with the algorithm in trying so desperately in making me more relevant in the search results when people are looking shit up, because we see, you know, how well that's been going. See, when you look at this screenshot and you look at this screenshot, I think the resolution of this screenshot wasn't the best, but it still gives you an idea. I still think it looks fine, personally. And obviously, when there is, or rather, if there is, if and when there's a solid release date, naturally I'm going to mention it so I can get an extra 13 views on my channel. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.